Hi everyone. I hope this is working okay. So this is the first time I've used this channel, which is something completely separate from the usual Rose of Dawn brand. So if people in the chat who are watching this live, they can just confirm if you can hear me, if this is actually going out properly, because I don't know whether all this is set up. I can see that there are things in the chat, but yeah, I just want to be sure. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. All right. So welcome to Rose Gold. Some of you might be wondering what this is, why I've made this channel. So some of you might remember a couple of months ago, I asked my subscribers like just opinions on doing a kind of like an off-topic channel, one which isn't talking about politics. It's not talking about trans issues. It's not talking. It's not talking about anything kind of controversial in that way. What the aim of this channel is just to it's just somewhere where I can air out a bit of my own interests, my own hobbies, where I can really just talk about things that I want to talk about. And this isn't a channel which I'm expecting to, take YouTube by storm or anything like that. I have this is purely a side project to the normal Rose of Dawn channel. But there's four main things which I kind of want to talk about with this channel, which is my cooking, video games, Disney, and theme parks. Because they're like my four biggest interests. And I thought that the easiest way of kind of starting this off would be talking about video games. Because I've been watching a lot of video game YouTubers over the last couple of months, especially with lockdown. In particular, like classic games. And the kind of games that I grew up with aren't really the type of thing that a lot of you are likely to really know all that much about, if I'm being completely honest. The very first system I ever played on was a ZX Spectrum, and it was out of date even by the time I was born. I don't know why my dad had one, but I remember being about 3 years old and watching him and my brother play this game called Horace Goes Skiing, which I have kind of tried to play on an emulator since, and it's a bit strange. But there was like other ZX Spectrum games that we would try and play, ones which weren't like they were good, things like Jet Set Willy and School Days. But where I really got into gaming was when my dad picked up an Amiga 1200. Now, an Amiga is basically a home computer. Back in like the late 80s, the early 90s, not everyone had PCs, or if they did, they weren't really the kind of machine people had for gaming. So if you wanted to play games on a computer that you also used for, word processing or making art, something like the Amiga is what you would go for. And the Amiga 1200 in particular was a pretty big player, even though the company who ran Amiga, Commodore, they ended up going out of business in like the mid 90s. They just kind of fell out of the market as PC started to dominate. But the Amiga had like thousands of games on it, a lot of games that were made by just sometimes one or two people, like really, really small development teams. And there were so many easy ways of getting hold of them. You would often get lots of free copies in like Amiga magazines and stuff, but also piracy was completely rampant. And my dad would always seem to come home from work every week with a load of new discs of various Amiga games. In fact, I think that there were only a handful of games that we actually legitimately bought. The Lion King was a legitimate game, Apidya was a legitimate game, but everything else, copying was really common, and in a way that kind of meant that a lot of people were able to experience all these the weird and wonderful games on the Amiga that you otherwise wouldn't come across. And the ones that I want to talk about today are three games that meant quite a lot in my childhood. Ones that have actually aged quite well, surprisingly. And I think a lot of you might be expecting what the first one is, because it kind of featured in an episode of Seal of Approval a couple of weeks ago when I talked about streaming on the right at the end of the channel, or right at the end of the stream rather. I'm just making sure that I have like the emulator and everything set up. And that now, let me just bring it up to the very first game. Now, this is Thomas the Tank Engine. And I'm like 32 years old, and I'm now playing a Thomas game. But this is something which I kind of got a bit interested in after Academic Agent began his weird obsession with Thomas the Tank Engine himself. And, you know, he's done streams talking about Thomas, and he introduced me to this YouTuber who, like, you know, like there's apparently like people of all sorts of ages and backgrounds who are otherwise really normal, but they're just really into their Thomas the Tank Engine. And like, I was obsessed with it when I was a kid, but I kind of grew out of it relatively quickly. I can appreciate it for what it is, but I'm not going to get into a whole conversation about how amazing Thomas is. And like, you know, like but I want to talk about the game because I've not seen many games that are actually like this. It's an incredibly simple idea, and especially when I had a look at the different kinds of Thomas the Tank Engine games which have come out, because there are a number of them, but none of them have kind of been attempted like this. So this starts off with having two different game modes. So the first one is Thomas the Tank Engine in your Thomas the Tank Engine game. The second one is a memory game, which I'm not really going to get into because it's basically matching cards with a AI player, and the difficulty on that doesn't seem to have a lot of impact. So I'm going to play this on normal, and the reason for that is if you play it on hard, basically the speed up button is like an instant termination button. Like, you just instantly die if you go around a corner and you're going a little bit too fast. I'm also going to put it on sound effects just because that music loop does not stop, and it just gets really grating. So this is the main game. So there's 7 levels. So you have Thomas's face right in the center with the fat controller, you know, giving the mission what to do. And as you go through, you can choose whatever mission you want. But as you go through the missions, you'll see Thomas becomes more and more concerned. So, you know, he's really worried about taking the crude oil to the refinery. But, you know, he's happy. He's got this cheeky smirk about delivering the tractor and take the children to the seaside. He's, you know, he's not too sure about that one. One thing which I found weird from watching back some of the Thomas the Tank Engine episodes is how some of the characters are really, really obsessed with children in a way that you wouldn't get in a TV show nowadays. Like you know, it's clearly all innocent, but just the way in which society has gone, it's just that you can't be that kind of naive anymore. So the aim of the game is you effectively need to get to your delivery. So here, so you find a carriage and you need to get it to the station at the end. Now, there are obstacles on the way. So for example, that grass, if you went fast over the grass, you would die. But then you also have Thomas's friends, who like James, who are more than happy to come and slam right into you, and then the fat controller eventually has a go at you for not being fast enough. So there's quite a so yeah, they will sneak up on you. They'll sneak up on you like that. And so there's James, there's Percy, there's Toby, Gordon, Bill and Ben. And wait, wait, shit! I can't go through that. Yeah, so you see, they like kind of go after you. Oh, and there's Terrence. Yeah, so you have Terrence there. The backgrounds in this kind of look a bit weird. Like that's kind of like a Tudor style level. So let's take the medicine to the hospital. And you go into the bonus stage, and the bonus stage is basically mash A and you may win. Sometimes it's actually kind of difficult. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Like the computer players are really random of how fast they go. Like sometimes they're all really, really slow. So you get that mini game in pretty much every single level, and it's the same thing each time. it's it's not great. But the thing is, what kind of going on to what I kind of liked about it, you're following. You basically you can only move on the track in your train. So or an engine rather. So you're not going to be able to just kind of career wherever you want. But it kind of gives a little bit of a strategy. Like you need to plan the route somewhere you're going because, well, you got to avoid your friends. Now, as far as lives go, I don't think that there are any. I don't. God damn it. Yeah. So Bill or Ben or whichever one is. He's kind of on a suicide mission, and he will eventually just go right for you. See, it's not an easy game. Like it being Thomas does not guarantee that it's like necessarily suitable for children. And James killed me again. So I just got to hope that Bill or Ben doesn't career right through me. Oh. Okay, I think it's safe. So yeah, as you can see, there's stones in the way of that track, and so you would crash. If you went into that, you would crash. You got to maneuver around Percy. Like, that's kind of macabre. Like that is you basically got like a route, like almost like a wasteland. In fact, that's how a lot of this looks. Like it wouldn't fall out. It wouldn't really look out of place in something like Fallout. This is just like completely dead space, where you just end up with like grim graves just sitting. I don't know why he's just chilling there. Okay. But here's the hospital, and so Thomas winks. As he's happy with his job. Okay, so now we got to deliver the coal. That's again, like there are backgrounds in this. I get what they're going for, and I kind of like this kind of like pixelated look that Amiga games had. Like you wouldn't really see this on other platforms. Like a lot of the times in the Amiga, the colors were quite subdued. Like, they were quite washed out, and for me at least, there's something kind of nostalgic and artistic about it. Like, Amiga games had a unique look to them, and they also... Oh, come on, Percy. Oh, but I did get the carriage. I did get the carriage, guys, and so that means that I can now I can't even remember what I'm supposed to be delivering here. What there? Oh, fuck! He's not. Oh my god! Like he is not he's a very naughty engine. So. Yep, see, again, you can't go fast over the bushes, otherwise you will blow up. Ah, oh, god damn it. Thomas was having a great day delivering things when, oh no, bandits are attempting to hijack Thomas. So streaming whilst like trying to talk and playing games is actually a bit more difficult than I kind of thought it would be. So now I've got to keep a conversation going. And you see, like Thomas is absolutely chuffed when he's able to get the job done. There's 4 more left. It's actually not a long game. Like this can be beaten in like about 10-20 minutes. In fact, a lot of stuff at the time could be because, well, we just found Gordon. I kind of asked for that one. I knew he was coming. I got cocky. I got cheeky. But again, when you play this on hard, you basically blow up if you try and go even a little bit fast. Oh. Toby, you jerk. Oh. Yep. There we go. Managed to beat Toby. Alright, now I need to collect I need to collect a... Now, hurry up, Thomas. Like, his trains are the ones that are crashing into me constantly. They're causing they're causing confusion and delay. Untold... Like, okay, so I've completely lost the carriage. And yet the Fat Controller is having a go at me. Like, what's all that about? Why is he having a go at... Oh, God damn it. Hurry up, Thomas. Right, seriously, where the... Where the hell is the carriage? Like, Gordon's just sitting at my house. So I can't go back. I can't go back that way. I went too fast over the bush. I'm trying to make this game look good here, and it just seems to have broken. So Scrump was going to be joining. Oh, there it is. Right, okay. I kind of feel stupid now. Yeah, so Scrump was going to be joining in. But he's got some computer problems. And so he isn't able to join because his computer is actually completely broken. So Z Explain is asking, what is this game? This is the legendary Thomas the Tank Engine on the Amiga 500. Like, you know, did you even grow up? And there we go. Thomas has delivered his goods in a nice little carriage. And now let's take the children to the seaside. You know, let's take our kids. Right, okay, hold on. So we're taking the kids to the seaside. And that there is what we're taking. So they're basically being shuttled off in like a cattle cart. So, like, are they even going to the seaside? You know, like, they've been... That's one of the weird things of this game. You've been shunting around all sorts of various goods. Like, delivering them here and there. But the one time you're actually, like, carrying people, you put them into a cattle cart. Hurry up, Percy. There we go. Oh, I'm sure this will all be worth it when they're at the beach. Oh, for God's sake. Right, let's take them to the beach. That's not a... How is that a beach? How is that a beach? There was no beach. There's no seaside. You're taking a cattle cart full of children to a camp. Like, oh god, this is taking a bit of a dark turn here, Thomas. But it like all these. This is actually quite a challenging and fun game. Like, it is. Apart from the fact when you just blow up on grass, the grass is kind of hard. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Scrump's got his computer problems, which is why he's not able to join us today, unfortunately. He does give his apologies. Whoa. Oh, fuck. God damn it, James. But I was initially planning on kind of starting a Twitch channel, which is something which I had streamed on a number of occasions. But to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Twitch. I didn't really like the platform all that much. And so rather than bother with Twitch, I'm just going to kind of do those kinds of streams on here. Oh, Percy! Percy! Like, Percy's meant to be your friend. He's just being a jerk. Damn Percy. Hurry up, Thomas. I actually don't think that there's a life counter on this. Percy. Percy, stay away. I do think James is the worst. James and Toby are the worst culprits. Because Toby normally just... Toby normally comes at you full pelt. Come on, Percy. Come on. There we go. See, that looks like... Again, like you're taking logs in luxury... In like a luxury cart. And like the kids were just packed into a... Right, so we're on the last mission now. The finale, the grand finale of Thomas the Tank Engine, the classic epic gamer OG. You know, this is the kind of thing that you know, Thomas. And there it is. Right, so the oil is in this nice comfy passenger cart. So like on the Isle of Sodor, they treat crude oil better than they treat children. Percy, stop being a dick. Bloody Percy. Percy, no, oi. Stop trying to kill Thomas. Like, he's carrying the crude oil. Oh, this is crude. Oh, here we go. Oh. Like, Bill and / or Ben had it out for the crude oil. And there we have it. So I don't know how long that took me. But, you know, officially completed, 1 game down. First game, GG, world first. Thomas the Tank Engine speedrun in about 10 minutes. You know. Like, this is the kind of content that you come here for, everyone. You know, look at that. Best drivers. And there I am at the top. And so there we go. So that's Thomas the Tank Engine. And so I can actually say that, like, the first game I played on Rose Gold, I completed it. Meanwhile, the Virgin Morcar, he couldn't even complete Postman Pat on the ZX Spectrum. You know, like, do you want to be subscribing to such a low G gamer? No, you want to come for the real. You want to come for the real stuff. You want the real gamer, the real elite gamer content. And so now we get to go to the next game, and one which is actually like one of my favorite games growing up, and it's one that I think it was the first game I ever actually got good at. If that makes sense. So this game is called Apidya. Now Apidya is it's a side-scrolling shooter where you play as a bee. Now we'll watch the intro because it's kind of strange. So is this actually working? Okay, so kind of missed the intro. So I accidentally pressed the wrong button. So I'll explain the story. Basically, one day there was an evil wizard, and he gets a load of bees, and he's like, "Oh, go spread this disease on this woman." And so the bees go and visit this woman in her little cottage. And then they make her sick, and then her fiance comes home and sees her like dying, and so he's like, right, I'm gonna fuck up the wizard, and then I'm gonna turn into a bee, and then I'm going to I don't get why he turns into a bee, but the premise of the game is that you play as a bee, and as a bee you fly through various bee-themed environments. So this is the first level, which is called Meadow's Edge. So I died straight away. Okay, I'm actually good at this game. I was just not paying attention to the screen properly. But so the idea is, you collect the flowers, and from there you then upgrade your weapons. You get little drones that follow you around. You can also get like a bigger spread shot, or sometimes like a specialist like charge weapon. And that is the snail. So that's not like the first boss or anything. That's just literally just like one of the first things you come across is a snail. And so I started to play this game a lot when I was about 4 or 5, I believe. I remember playing a demo of it when I was a kid, near to Christmas. It's like, if you remember, like, especially in the 90s, where you would have like a local Santa would drive around in on the back of a van. Like, every town kind of has this. Like, what the Santa's like, he's just kind of sitting there on the back of a truck, and you have people going to door to door and just kind of getting money for a cause. And so whilst all that was going on, I was playing a demo of this game, and I just got really into this a lot more than the center. And then one day my dad actually went out and bought the game legit. And I don't know, I think it might have been because you kind of play as an insect, and a lot of the enemies seem quite realistic. And that really kind of appealed to me. But with that realism, here comes the first bonus mission, where you need to collect naked babies and avoid devils. In this game where you play as a bee. Like, Apidya is full of these kinds of weird, like, real tonal shifts. So it was originally made in Germany. It's based quite heavily on kind of like early 90s Japanese media. It's this why a lot of the things kind of like they try to go for kind of like that 90s, that 80s, 90s anime look for the characters. Like if we'd actually watched the intro, you'd have seen that they do kind of look a bit anime-like. So the enemies in this are one of the things that I find most fascinating. So it ranges from everything from like just your normal bog standard flies. You've got like wasps, hornets, stag beetles, grasshoppers, and then you go into like a pond area where there's sticklebacks, there's dragonfly larvae, there's these kind like there's prawns, there's eels. Like one of the bosses is a giant pike, and the pike is great, especially because like it's like there's like several screens large, especially for the age. You wouldn't get many bosses which were that big, so it's a novelty even in and of itself. So we're getting to the second boss now. Right, Mitch, this is not a weeb game. This is German. This is German. This is not for this was way before weebs were even a thing. This is not a weeb game. And so this is the second bonus stage, where basically you're just kind of in a cave and you collect flowers. Another thing with this game is it is ridiculously hard, and so if you touch any surface, you die instantly. So there's some parts later on in the game which can be really, really fiddly to get around, and kind of difficult considering the screen is always scrolling to right. And so it sometimes requires like tapping the D-pad, but you might move a little bit too quickly, and if you move a bit too quickly, then you're just going to go straight into the other side. And it is why it like I kind of got a bit of a routine when I was like about 4, where I would actually kind of rage quit every time I died. And so I would play through the game on 1 life. I know I'd end up getting really, really far just on 1 life. I mean, that's not really the way that you're supposed to play it, but I would get very, very angry. Also, when you die, you lose a load of your power-ups. As you can see here, you just get instantly downgraded. You lose that awesome shield. That shield does kind of help protect you from the little blue balls. And so when you don't have that, all of a sudden, getting around everything can be quite hard. God damn it. Right. I am going to die. I'm gonna do what I did as a 5-year-old, and I'm going to rage quit and start again. As soon as you got another problem with this game is when you kind of get past the first level, if you've only got that pea shooter that you start off with there, it becomes really, really hard because there's lots of enemies that come at you at kind of awkward angles, and plus it's ridiculously weak. Let's try again. I actually want to show people how, because like I used to get ridiculously far in this game. But just in case I end up not making it to the later levels, I'll just explain kind of how it all goes. So the very first level is, as you can see here, which is the Meadow's Edge, where you fight, you know, like basically the kind of things that you would find in your garden or in a field. So you got your moles, you've got your praying mantis, your snails, and then there's the next level, which is in the pond. As I mentioned before, you got the pike, you've got the like the eel, the prawns. There's fibs. There's lots of fibs. And then the level after that, the bosses in it include a dead rat with maggots coming out of it, and you've got to fight the maggots. And after you killed the maggots, you can fly into the stomach of the dead rat and fly through its organs, which is really disturbing. And then you've got a possessed can of Pepsi, and I think it actually is like a branded can of Pepsi, but I just don't think that Pepsi were aware of this game, because I don't think many people are, even at the time. And so, and then you've got a possessed doll that fights you by throwing up on you. And then there's a cyberpunk level where your bee becomes a cyberpunk bee. And then finally you have this like boss rush right at the end of the game where you fight a cowfish, a oyster, a bat, a mutant heart, which shoots out spiders, which is probably the most disturbing boss in the game. And finally, the final boss is a giant hornet, and it's ridiculously hard, especially because with all the other bosses, if you die whilst fighting them, you'll kind of be respawned right at the start of the, like, you know, right at the same point in the fight. But with that one, you got to start it over again and again and again until you eventually kind of defeat it. It looks really cool though. Like, again, it's like a full screen, like massive, almost like a robo hornet. It does like a lot of the stuff in this game genuinely does look cool. Yeah, the Cyberpunk B area is done really, really well. One thing which I really like about this game as well though is the soundtrack. I'm really hoping, like, I've had to mess around with the sounds to make sure that it's not kind of too loud and you can hear me. But the soundtrack in this game is absolutely fantastic. In fact, years ago, this was years ago now. Somebody in Germany actually made like a full remixed album just of music from this game, and it was done really, really well. So someone's just asked how old I am. I am 32. And yeah, the Amiga probably is. I don't think that this... I think this might have been out in America. I think it was actually bigger in... The Amiga was more popular in Canada than it was in America. Again, like this came out at a time when most kids were playing Sonic 2 or like Mario World, Like, this was like this to me this is what like Sonic is for a lot of people. Like, this was the game which I really like. I got ridiculously into. I became quite obsessive about it. Right, let's hope I don't die this time. I don't normally die anywhere around here. There you go. He was causing me problems before, so. Okay, and so we're nearly at the end of this level. And so the first boss is coming up in just a couple of seconds, which is a giant praying mantis. And it's, again, it's actually, it is really cool. Like, this game is kind of unique, at least for the first two worlds, because it isn't really all that fantasy-like. It's not, it's just taking normal insects, normal animals that you would come across in, like, normal day-to-day life. A lot of time, I mean, I don't really see a lot of praying mantises, but you know what I mean. Like, they have moles, they have, like, fish and stuff. But it just takes these normal animals and it just puts them in a game. But it doesn't cartoonify them. It gives them kind of guns, but it doesn't as well. It's not like the holding guns. They're not anthropomorphized. They don't even talk. It's just normal animals, normal insects, normal fish, normal mammals. And like, that in itself is really, really unique. You don't see this in a lot of games at all. And here's the second level. So this is just called the pond. And so as a bee, you can go in the pond. So you can see there's water fleas. And there's those weird things that they drop down on you if you go underneath them. And there's like an angry fish. I was never sure what that was supposed to be. I don't know whether that's rain or stones. I think it's stones. I don't think, like, but so there's I don't know what this thing is though. Like, if anyone watching this kind of knows what that was supposed to be, please let me know, because I actually don't know. Like, is it a nymph? I think it might be a nymph. Again, stupid rain. Right. So there's a water beetle. So now, like, you don't really have a lot of area to move around in for this boss, and you have even less space for the next one. So here is the eel. And I beat him. Well, that was one of the bosses in this game that I remember getting stuck on. I think it was the first boss in this game that I got properly stuck on. And I think that, in a way, that was like my first big gaming achievement, was beating that eel. Not seal, eel. And the eel is like, yeah, he was hard. And like, this level, all of this level is actually ridiculously hard. The next boss is hard because you have barely anywhere to go, and there's these weird, like, fish eggs that if you burst it, like, they release these weird spore thingies that are quite hard to kill, and if they collide into you, then that's it. So yeah. Yeah, those things are really, really hard to kill as well. You can kill them, but it can be very difficult to do so. Can everyone who's watching us, can you hear the sounds okay? Because the music, again, the music in this game is really good. Oh, god damn it! That bit, man. That bit is. It's those. Okay, so people can't hear the game noise all that much, right? Okay, let me try and turn up. Because I've been playing this on quiet without... Okay, let me know... Okay, I'm supposed to be getting a second monitor in soon, which will really kind of help with this. Yeah, if you can hear it now, like, the music in this game is phenomenal. I'll go so far as to say this is one of the best soundtracks in any game ever. Oh my god. And now I've just got pea shooter. Oh, that's absolutely right. Yeah, I completely forgot about this. I was supposed to be in the voice chat in the Discord. That is entirely my fault. I completely forgot about this. So there should be some people in the voice chat.
Hello.
So who is
there.
in the voice chat? And I completely forgot that I told people in the voice chat. Yeah, but I've been playing Thomas the Tank Engine on the Amiga.
Great game, yes.
It is. It is a classic.
Shall we all introduce ourselves then?
Yes. Introduce yourselves, everyone.
I am Magenta.
Hi.
What about you, Mitch?
Sorry, I didn't hear that then.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me, your boy, Mitch. How's that?
That was
Yes,
fine.
nice.
And, as you can see here, like, I've only got the pea shooter. I can barely get past that enemy right there. Like,
And
you kind of, as soon as you die, you kind of do need to quit, because you ain't getting, yeah.
As a Mancunian, I endorse this game. The bee being the symbol of my city and all that.
Did you see the Devils? That
I saw.
That they're basically the Man United Devils.
Not quite, but
they look like the Man United Devils.
I'll take it.
It was a strange change of decorum.
And we have Wisp, who was just talking, and then there's me,
Hello.
Antonio, the Talmenian.
What's it called
Yes.
again?
This.
Yeah.
This is called
Oh,
Apidya.
Oh, it's the one
Oh
with.
shit! I just found a new bonus. I've never been in this bonus level before.
Raw.
I was trying to kill myself, and I've ended up in a. Oh wait, this is the same. This is the same one that I was in before. This is the same one in the molehill. I didn't realize that you could. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Well, the game may not be a weed game, but the developers were definitely.
Oh, the developers definitely were. Yeah.
Yeah, you said this was a German game? The titles was all Japanese and Japanese companies.
It is, yeah. They're called Keiko or Kaiko, yeah.
This isn't made.
Show, right? Like a dope show, right?
Yeah, the publisher of the game is now owned by Ubisoft.
It is, which means that Ubisoft could potentially re-release this game if they wanted to.
They're French. They won't.
No, Ubisoft.
This game
sorry.
is lost to time. Like, not many people particularly remember it, and so I don't think we're going to ever see this be re-released, which is a massive shame because I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I agree. The soundtrack is amazing. And yes, I'm Wisp. I get the timing wrong.
It's okay.
I forgot my Japanese, so I don't know what the title said. But I think
it's
because I forgot.
Apidya.
B.
I don't know.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to not continue there because
I saw a Zoomer today. Well, I don't know. She was about 12 or 13. She had like a hoodie, and it was the X-Men 90s cartoon. And I was tempted to say, "Nice hoodie," but I was like, "Nah."
I'm a Zoomer, but I'm one of the adult Zoomers.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 19, nearly 20.
Bruh.
Yeah, I am 19 as well.
Bruh.
Damn.
I thought by Rose it meant Labour, but no, it's Go Rose.
yay.
bloody socialist Rose.
So this
Anyway.
is the.
I'm literally gonna get my helicopter out in a minute.
This is not supposed to be a political stream.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just do the fun stuff.
I wanted to talk about.
Oh, this is by the title. This is Apidya 2.
Yep.
That means there's a 1.
No, there isn't. This is.
What?
Yep.
What?
Wait, what's
What?
Yeah.
What's the meaning of rose gold? Rose.
Why do you break my brain?
So rose gold is the reason why I chose that name is because I wanted to think of something which still had rose in the title, and kind of have like a that for some reason that image there really creeped me out when I was a kid. Yeah, I wanted something which still had rose in the name, and rose gold is a colour. And I just thought, like, that's kind of cool. Like, I was thinking of a name. I was trying to think of a name for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
This has some really cool music though. So like, it has.
We're a bit loud, apparently.
Oh, are we?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Everyone else is a bit loud compared to you.
Oh.
Well, Rose could just turn us on.
Rose could mute us all.
Is that okay?
Epilepsy transformation.
You guys, streaming on here isn't kind of new. Also, there's like a lot of delay here.
Oh, is there?
Well, let me search up. Oh no, that's not typical.
No.
Such, like usually like 10, 15.
So someone's got a bit of lag.
Seconds.
Yeah, someone's voice there was lagging.
It's the young.
Sounds
Not
like
wrong.
Magenta.
I'm lagging.
Okay. Right. Well, I might actually I want to do a proper like video, just kind of focused on Apidya, and like one where I can actually probably have to sit down for a whole day. Probably even have to use some save states actually, just to show everyone how weird this game gets.
So, have you ever watched Razorfist by any chance?
No. What's Razorfist?
He's a YouTuber. He is a political one, but he does non-political stuff too, like game reviews, film reviews. He has a thing called Metal Mythos. He's actually talked to some legends on it.
Oh, right.
And I thought I'd do something similar, but it would just look like I'm ripping him off, even though it would be a one-off thing. Because I'm currently getting all my music on vinyl, and I thought, hey, I could use them in a video.
Oh, nice.
I just bought 2. I think I've got nearly 40 now. Oh.
Right, so I'm going to go on to the last game of the evening now. So I'm gonna try and keep these
Woo.
to like about an hour, like between like an hour and a half videos. But this one is a really, really cool game, which is basically a German game about Nesquik.
A German game about Nesquik.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Oh god, that thing! I remember
Das
that.
ist so verdammt fantastisch.
I remember that. That was.
Geil.
I didn't play far into it.
Wait, you actually played this game?
Yes, I played that.
Oh wow.
There's the one with the brown bunny.
Yes. And so you fight Die Biene and Die Raupe.
Die
When-
Raupe.
Wenn sie Pollenhäuschen tragt, ich das nicht. Es war der letzte
Ah, yes. Die
Schrei,
Suche nach den verschollenen Seiten.
sondern,
Should I read it for you?
I should have paused it. So here is Tricky Quicky games. So as you can see, so the game revolves around
Tricky Wicky games.
Quicky, the Nesquik. I think like Quicky is no longer a thing.
I think it is, right?
I think
It was
I-
Nesquik.
Yeah.
Nesquik, was it?
Yes, so he is. This is the Nesquik bunny.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, this was a game that was given out in Germany, where people would, like you would send off for like what do you call it? Oh, sorry, I can hear a bit of an echo.
Yeah. Magenta, you have echo again.
Bruh.
Yeah.
So,
the problem
yeah,
was
this is
on the
what-
on the Amiga. I couldn't read the text because it was all in red, and the Amiga had real trouble showing that on screen. It's the same thing with Mortal Kombat. When I played through that once and finally got the story for Scorpion at the end, and it was unreadable due to the red font on grey background, and it was just mush.
Wait, so was Mortal Kombat out on the Amiga?
Yes,
I did not know that.
Mortal Kombat 1 was on the Amiga. I played it like
Oh.
mad.
Okay,
And the German version had all the blood removed, of course.
of course.
So did the SNES version. Which is why
Well,
the
in
Genesis
Command and
sold so
Conquer
well.
1 in the German version, all the there was no blood. All the soldiers were said to be cyborgs. So when they died, they just instead of red blood, they were leaking black oil.
Like Samurai Jack?
Yeah, kinda. And they even worked that into the story that they called it the Cyborg Wars and stuff. And so it's really silly because the soldiers, well, they look like real humans. And as a kid, I didn't mind it too much because, well, what should I be doing? But the German version had much better. Had a great localization otherwise, as they renamed all the Nord units from just a light tank and artillery and flamethrower to the light tank was the Fist of Nord. The artillery became the. I'm translating back from the German names. The artillery became the Hammer of Mercy, and the flame tank was the. I think it was the Fackel der Erleuchtung, which means Torch of Enlightenment. So that gave the whole Nord units a real this whole cult, religious cult thing that Nord had going. And I was really surprised that it didn't have that in the English version. Sorry for the monologue.
No, it's fine. I mean, you probably have more to say about that than I do about a game where you just play as the Nesquik bunny. And
Well, I did play that for a while, but I think I only made 2 or 3 levels.
it is kind of tricky. I think I've got to the 3rd level.
Yeah,
I
there
love
were
the
really
music
cool
in
jump and
it.
runs on the Amiga and the early PC times.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually, considering this is just a promotional freebie,
Yeah.
it plays really well. It's not perfect. So, for example, if you walk off the side, you just fall vertically. But at least it's consistent, so you know what's going to happen every time.
Yeah, you can figure out the controls and use them to your advantage.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So now I can go to the Ausgang.
The Ausgang. Beautiful.
I did try and learn German. I'm not
Really?
You
You poor woman.
It can't be that hard, can it?
When I've been to Europa Park, I've been able to do things in German. But I think that they're not quite as the Germans aren't quite as fixated on the French about you getting it like 100%.
Oh, we just keep making the old jokes.
I mean, you make your own compound words every day, don't you?
Yeah, but English had them too. You just
No, I
stop
mean,
making them.
we don't. Yeah, we do, but like you said, we don't create new
We
ones.
use hyphens.
Yeah. And I
Just
think that's a bit
hyphens.
sad because it gives connotations to meanings that
So
because
here
they
is,
they
So can you translate this then? Because I know there's the fish and the crabs. What does
Sorry,
it
go on.
say about the fish?
where do you post something
No, it's on the stream.
on the stream? I'm still just seeing you jump into the water.
Oh, right.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
Ah,
okay.
yes, of
It's
course.
now on the
There's a
loading screen,
delay.
now it's on the point
There is a
screen.
delay.
Yeah. So der Fisch.
Yes.
Silent as a fish? Not really. Our ear can hear fish noises, just can't hear fish noises. If we had sonar, like a U-boat, we could be listening to the fishes underwater. And the
That's
crab is...
What?
And the crab...
What the hell?
the-
I thought it was going to be like, oh, the fish are coming after you because they want their nest.
No,
quit.
it's-
But instead it's like, oh, if only we had
it's
sonar like a
educational.
U-boat.
Yeah, it's for kids, it's educational.
What
Or
does it
tries
say
to
about
be.
the crab?
The crab, famous for its backwards gear. In a car, Rückwärtsgang is in a car when you go backwards.
Oh, do you mean it walks sideways and backwards as opposed to forwards?
Yes, yeah. That can walk backwards. It's just the word Rückwärtsgang is the explicit word used for when you go to the gear in your car that makes the car go backwards. I don't know what the English term is.
Reverse.
in reverse, yeah.
Reverse. Okay. It's a reverse gear. Strange, since usually it walks forwards, but swimming it can only backwards. Ah, okay, because it swims backwards. Okay.
Ah,
Well, I didn't know that.
right.
I didn't know that crabs swim backwards.
Yeah, I don't think most of them can even walk forwards. They have to go backwards, backwards or sideways. I think.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the sideways thing.
Like,
Sorry.
so this is the kind of the water effect is quite cool. Especially again, this is a free promotional game, and they definitely
Yeah.
put in some effort into it.
I think it was in the was it in the boxes, in the cereal boxes. I don't know where I got it from.
I don't know whether it was in the cereal box or whether you had to send off for it. But I know
don't
there was
know.
a PC version as well. But this
I
one,
remember.
there was a
I
PC
remember on the Amiga, I had to play all the games with joysticks. You know these the big ones where you have
Yes.
the whole thing in your hand, and that's really strange to play a jump and run with. It's like everything's a flight simulator.
Yeah, in fact, I had one of those, and that's what I had that, and there was also like a gamepad that was very, very similar to the Sega Mega Drive gamepad. But I never liked it. As a kid, I really got used to that proper old school joystick. You know, you have like the two big chunky buttons
Yeah,
and the big stick to waggle
they
around.
make amazing clicky noises.
Yes. Like that for me was like I didn't like gamepads for a long time because I was so used to the joystick.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I played Mortal Kombat with one of these.
But that would make sense, as in like Mortal Kombat, because things like fight sticks are.
Yeah, that's right. It's just that you have the buttons on the side old ones, but you have the index finger button and the thumb button on the top.
Yeah.
So it's more like the flight simulator still. But it worked well enough because usually you only needed it was just one attack button anyway. For the most part.
Right.
And we had some other joysticks, I think 1 or 2 different ones, but usually they didn't even work. That was a strange time when you bought hardware and then you couldn't get the hardware to work. And what are you going to do with an Amiga?
But on
can't
top,
just install drivers.
yeah. But with the Amiga, you sometimes took a risk as to whether or not a game would even work in the first place.
Oh yeah, my Mortal Kombat copy broke after I beat the game once. That was very strange. I don't know, maybe the copyright protection was triggered somehow, but it's the only thing I can imagine. But it wasn't original. I finally got hang of the game and, well, broken.
Finish him.
Platforms. Okay.
I guess your game had a fatality.
Yes, it did.
That was.
It just when I put in the first floppy disk, it just went epilepsy crazy with flickering pink and yellow and blue.
Oof.
What's your first operating system?
Well, since the Amiga doesn't have one.
It does. Amiga OS.
Amiga, yeah.
Right. Oh god. Yeah, I was too small to do anything with that.
Yeah,
I think the only thing I did with it was design other cursors to use. Because the Amiga cursor was too fat for me.
My dad used to have it set so that you so I was only a user and I was not an administrator. Eventually
on your
Amiga. No, on my Windows computer.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense.
When I got round to Windows 7, I figured out how there was a backdoor in it, and so I just did that.
I bet you got up to no good.
Up to no good. No, I was so terrible.
Well, I'm playing the new Rome Total War remastered.
Kids these days, what they like.
I know, kids these days.
Bloody Gen Z.
Bloody Zoomers.
I've heard only complaints about the remaster.
It's
When do Zoomers start anyway?
1997, something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know when they end.
All my siblings are like.
Oh.
So my brother turned 18 recently.
Oh no.
He's about 2 years young. He's about 2 years young. Well, she's 2 academic years lower, but he's like he's technically 1 year and 11 months younger.
I think that counts as 2.
I'm not sure I like the look of the game, to be honest. The campaign map doesn't look as nice as the original. The water looks nice though. I'll give it that.
Does it look as good as this though?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Right, this has really good water effects.
Yeah, and really cute
for
crap.
16-bit. Yeah, but did they rave? No, I don't think so.
But listen to the music.
I can't while I'm playing this game. Oh. I have listened to a bit of the music. It's alright. It's good. It's okay.
But it's just, this is like the kind of music that you drink Nesquik to. Like, this is classic.
I don't think I've had Nesquik for ages.
I really want some Nesquik. Like, it has to be the chocolate Nesquik though.
I could use some chocolate milk right now.
There's non-chocolate Nesquik.
Yes, it comes in with strawberry and vanilla and all this other nonsense.
There's like the ones I remember: strawberry, vanilla, no, strawberry, banana, and chocolate. They were like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the milkshakes? Yeah, epic.
there
I
we
thought you were
go.
talking about the cereal for a second.
That's epic. Next me.
Yeah. Yeah, with, a buddy on another server showed me the differences between the classic ROM and the remaster, and told me that the remaster is made by the mobile division of the company, which makes a lot of sense because it looks like a mobile game.
It
with all
does,
the
yeah. Mhm.
useless UI indicators, unit
Yep.
indicator,
Mhm.
and they completely screwed up the arrows. Oh no, you died.
Oh, they
Oh, no.
also screwed up the key binding initially, but I've been checking it out, and it
Oh,
seems like
dear.
they may have fixed that. Or maybe it's
Yeah.
only certain controls can be key binded, which, unfortunately for left-handed people,
Should I
at least
translate again?
adds up.
Yes, if you can.
Okay. Der Schneeball, the snowball. Can snowballs swim? Of course, like little icebergs. An 11th is looking out of the water. Try it out if it's not frozen over. The penguin. Yep.
Oh,
You want to comment on that wonderful bit?
Right, well, I just died in the game anyway.
I'm sorry.
I started to play a level and I jumped on some ice and I died.
Okay.
Like,
I thought
literally
you wanted
jumping on
something.
ice. So what I'm now doing is I don't understand this. There's like a bonus stage at the end of the game.
Okay.
Like you die and you end up in the Nesquik factory. And I have absolutely no idea what the hell this even is. So you collect the Nesquik at the top. Like there's a little pot of Nesquik. But you collect it, and then you just don't seem to do anything with it. I've never been able to
I
figure this
remember
out. So, like, there we go. Got myself some Nesquik. And now I've got to go back.
Oh,
Somebody
it says
giggling.
the text in the loading screen said put the refill bag into the refill can. So I guess you take one of the yellow ones and then put it into one of the red ones?
I think the red ones are the things you need to avoid.
Yeah, but you need to get a yellow one first.
So you
Maybe.
think you get the yellow one is the thing.
Get a yellow one? Yeah. Oh,
Right.
now now get a red one. Yeah, it's switched over
okay.
now. Okay, get an.
There we
you
go.
get
I did
another.
it. I did it.
I don't know what it was. This is strange.
And then like it's still game over.
I mean, you have the yellow ones also down, but
But yeah,
I'm confused.
it makes no sense. So like I always thought the idea was
Yeah.
you collect one of the bags at the top and then you put it in one of the bags at the bottom. But
Yeah,
if you
let's
do
see
that,
if you can.
you still don't get anything anyway.
Yeah, it just switches over to the other.
It just switch. Yeah,
The red and green just switch over.
it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
I have no idea what that was.
So,
But I vaguely remember that screen. I vaguely remember
I
that
didn't know
screen.
Nestle was Swiss. Interesting.
Hmm.
The
The Gauls are getting really uppity.
Nestle.
They
so,
keep asking for money. Go on.
so
With vitamins and dextrose.
So yeah, so this was basically the whole the idea behind this channel is there's going to be, as I mentioned at the start, there's going to be 4 different kinds of videos. So there's going to be gaming videos, there's going to be cooking videos, Disney videos, and also theme park videos, when I'm able to get out to theme parks and do stuff like that. So my actual gaming videos aren't just going to be streams like this. I am actually kind of planning on doing a individual video just on Apidya, because it's kind of hard to talk about it and go in depth whilst I'm playing it, because it's a game that requires a hell of a lot of concentration, because it is really, really hard. Like, it's harder than it looks, because like your movements in it have to be so precise, and if you die once, then that's it. You might as well just quit, because you're never gonna progress.
These I don't know what the genre name is, but that's all these R-type games.
Yeah,
that's kind of the challenge with them, or the problem. I don't know. But anyway, they usually don't die even once, and that's all the bullet hell stuff. In no matter how they're designed.
But like I haven't played one which is as punishing. Like I've played a number of like top down or side scrolling shooters. It's not often that I come across one where if you basically when you start to die, that's it. Like you're not gonna be able to get far enough to get new power ups to make your weapons more powerful again.
I don't know. I found R-type being pretty punishing in that, and it was probably one of the more famous ones. As you died and you lost all your power-ups, and then good luck. Especially with the levels that were just coming at you with solid walls you had to shoot through, and now you just have your pea shooter again.
Do you mean your bee shooter? A
bee shooter.
I found it more punishing than I found Apidya more punishing than that.
It certainly looks tough.
It is a tough game, but there is another video which I'm aiming to get out on this channel tomorrow. And so for those of you who have stayed to the end, first of all, thanks everyone for subscribing. Like, I think I only actually opened the channel yesterday and already got over 250 subscribers, which is pretty cool. Like, again, I'm not aiming for this to be like a huge channel or anything, but that's still pretty neat. But there is a video which there's been a lot of demand on, and I've decided that Rose Gold is the perfect place to premiere it, and that is the top 10 seals. The top 10 seals.
The absolute seals.
So, you know,
it has to be done.
Where all seals are good seals, but where do they rank?
Are you rating specific breeds and all that?
It's specific species of seals. It's the top 10 species of seal. Which it has been very hard to put that list together because, you know, seals are great. But somebody has to rank the seals. And who better than me? So look out for that tomorrow.
All right, something wholesome. That's always good. We need more of that.
So yeah, this is gonna be. So I'm gonna do the video game streams aren't just gonna be Amiga ones. The next one I'm planning on doing is either gonna be PS1 games or it's gonna be GameCube games. And I'm just gonna do different consoles when I do these streams. Do a couple of games, and next time I'll join in. I'll join in the chat a lot sooner.
Is Choo Choo Rocket on your radar?
It isn't, but it's a game that I've been meaning to play.
Okay.
I don't have a good Dreamcast emulator, but I'm sure I can find one.
I think it came out on one other console.
I know there was a version. There was a version on the Game Boy Advance.
Huh.
They made a Game Boy Advance version, but you know that's not going to be that great.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But I'm gonna do different streams maybe each week on different consoles. And we'll just go into the voice chat. So if you're interested in just kind of hanging out, make sure to join the Discord. When I'm doing the streams, you know, people just come in and hang out. So I think I'm just going to call it an evening now. So I played the games which I wanted to show off. So that's Thomas the Tank Engine, Apidya, and Quicky games. I'm going to be showing off more Amiga games in the future. I'm going to do an individual video on Apidya because I actually want to talk about that game a lot more. Again, it's hard to talk about it in depth and play it at the same time. But yeah, anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If this wasn't your thing, then hopefully one of the other videos that I make will be your thing. But yeah, thanks everyone. I'll see you all next time.